Baruchim Abayim Mishpachah. May the Most High bless you, may He smile upon you. This is the day that He has made. We rejoice in it. We are glad in it. And for our main topic, we're going to be talking about, the conviction of the Word of the Most High. How does the Most High speak to us? Would we know if He spoke to us? Would we know if He spoke to someone else? Well, this is something very interesting we're going to get into, and we're going to talk about how you hear the Most High, and perhaps even how those who gave us the Tanakh, how do they hear? Let's talk about it.
See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down, to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
All right, here we are. Yes, we are back. All praises to the Most High. And I want to say, hey, this is, of course, the day that He's made. And we're glad. We're happy. And, hey, we stand before you loving the Most High with all of our heart, loving our family, loving the very time that He gives us to come together, to be together as a family. And here we are once again. Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you. This is the day that we acknowledge and celebrate. It being the seventh day, the day of significance, the day where the Most High said, you know what, I have created the heavens and the earth. And then, of course, He ceased from all His labor. He rested from His labor. And so He began to occupy and to dwell in this physical existence. And we celebrate that every Shabbat. The fact that the Most High is with us and that we're celebrating Him existing and abiding with us in this physical existence, which actually is messianic when you think about it. But hey, we can get into that just a little bit later. May the Most High bless you. We acknowledge Him. You've come to this channel perhaps for the first time. Yes, we're going to be talking about the Word of the Most High, but we serve you notice for those of you that have never seen us. Listen, we love the Most High. We follow His Word, and we take His Word seriously, meaning that we begin at the beginning of the book, as everyone should, and we have taken seriously the words of the Most High. And He said that He does not change. He said that He will not change what He had already spoken concerning His covenant. And He's laid down certain laws. One is that no one can die for another person's sins. Well, now, if that is truly stated in the scriptures, how did someone hear that, and how do we know? Well, we're going to get into that. But just before we do, we need you to know that we are Yah only. We are Tanakh only. And for a number of reasons. One reason is because of the words of the Most High. It's because of the character, the words, and the laws of the Most High. It forbids us from accepting and embracing Christianity. And it's odd because there are individuals who feel that they're doing the will of God by being a Christian, and they don't understand that if they really understood who the Most High is, if you read His Word, and if you just listen, you don't have to get deep. All you have to do is read and understand it to be true and ask yourself the question, if this is true, then what does that mean for Christianity? What does that mean for me? What should I be doing? If the Tanakh is true, if the Hebrew Bible is true, what then must I do? Well, someone did come to Yeshua ben Yosef and ask him that question and said, hey, what do I need to do in order to have eternal life? And he said, you know what? I ain't even going to hold you. Just keep the commandments and do the commandments and you good. And to that, he was fine, right? Well, somehow along the way, the prescription for salvation changed. By the time you got from the book of Matthew to the book of John, where it now reads, well, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Well, this has more to do with paganism and more akin to paganistic rituals and ways than it does the ways of the Most High. This is the problem, and I must admit, we're going to talk about quite a few things here, and this is definitely one of them, but let me continue our introduction. We are Yah only, we are Tanakh only, because of what the Most High has said, even because of what the Christians' New Testament says, and even the words that have been put in the mouth of their Messiah, Jesus. Yeah, Yeshua ben Yosef, called Jesus by the Greeks and the pagans, even the words that were put in his mouth causes us to be Tanakh only and to worship only the Most High. If you want those scripture references, I can get them for you. All you have to do is hop in the chat and request them. And hey, I or someone in the chat room can definitely get them for you. But let's continue as we do. Since we are Tanakh only, we stand by the covenant. We're in the covenant of the Most High, and therefore we abide by them and reference them in their miniature form called the 10 sayings. The 10 sayings are a covenant according to Deuteronomy 4 and 13, and so we serve you notice that we will not have any other Elohim or spiritual entity in place of our Elohim, the one that we call Elohim, the one that we call Elyon, the Most High. We will have no one before him. We will not make any object, any molten object. We will not make anything imaginary nor concocted of any form or kind to bow down to worship unto it. We will also not take the character and the name of the Most High in vain. We will not take his presence in vain. We shall and do remember Shabbat, and we make it holy. We do no work during the sunlight hours, and we honor it as a holy time before the Most High. We will and do honor our mothers and our fathers, even though we do not leave food for the dead. We do pour libation as Samuel did, and we also acknowledge our mothers and fathers that are yet living with us. We will not commit murder. We will not shed innocent blood. We will not commit adultery. We will not steal. We will not be a false witness in a court of law or in any point of adjudication. And also, and for the last one, we will not covet and lust and try to somehow obtain that belongs to another, for the Most High has blessings for us. And to this, we acknowledge Aman wa Aman. Well, let's continue, because you know that not only do we love the word of the Most High, we also, yes, we love to pray, but we also love to praise. Well, it's time for prayer. As we do, we forgive ourselves for the things that we have done that have missed the mark, some things that are stupid, some things that we're not proud of. We forgive ourselves of them. And then we also forgive others that also merit forgiveness, meaning that they have demonstrated, like yourself, they've demonstrated consistently that they do the right thing in that area instead of the wrong thing. Therefore, they are able to be forgiven, right? If they're not forgiven, then show mercy. However, you must deal with that at hand. Make sure that your heart is free, your heart is clear, so that we can go before the Most High. Let's take a second and do that. Let's get ourselves ready. Yeah, let's get ready to pray. Most High, we come before you. We honor you in all things. We thank you that we are the people of your covenant. And you know that we follow you and that we love you. We would ask that you would enlighten us on this day. We forgive ourselves for sins. We forgive our brothers and our sisters that have sinned against us, but now have demonstrated righteousness. We thank you and we honor you. We ask you to forgive us. We follow your laws, your statutes, and your commandments. We would be clean before you, even on this day that we celebrate your resting and your abiding with us. We honor you in that, and we thank you for it. We say, as far as our eyes and the ears of our hearts are concerned, we say, they are open before you. And so we are ready to hear what your word is unto us. We ask that you would illuminate us, enlighten us as only you can. In your name and your name alone, Yah. Aman wa aman. All right. We are very happy to give praise unto the Most High. So here we go. We're about to give him some praise, y'all. Let's get ready for it.
Sing praise unto thy name. I will sing to your name. Oh, most high, most high. Most high, most high, oh, most high, most high, most high. I will sing praise to thee. Oh yeah. With my whole heart, I will show forth all thy marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praise unto thy name. I will sing praise to your name alone. Oh, most high, most high. Oh, most high, most high. Oh, most high, most high, most high. Oh.
Just give the Most High a praise wherever you are. Just from your heart, magnify Him and praise Him. Take these few moments to just acknowledge His greatness, His goodness, His kindness, His mercy, His wisdom, His truth, His light, His power, His strength. Remember Him and honor Him all the days of your life and pledge your allegiance unto the Most High and unto the Most High alone. For it is He that has made us and not we ourselves. We exalt Him, we praise Him, we magnify Him, for there is no other Elohim but Him.
Oh, most high, most high. Oh, most high, most high. Oh, most high, most high, most high. Oh, most high, most high. Oh, most high, most high. Oh, most high, most high, most high.
All right. You know, we love to praise Him, love to magnify Him. Oh, Most High. Yes, we honor Him, we magnify Him. He is our salvation, He is our strength, He is our righteousness. And so, yes, we come before Him and we magnify Him. I want to give some shout outs just before we get into our main topic. I'm giving shout outs. Who was the first one to turn on the lights this morning? Yes, it was none other than my brother from another mother, Bergen Paris himself. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. Glad that you are here. He is our chief moderator. And of course, Josh and Penny, they are helping him out. They are the dynamic duo and they help him out. And so, but the person that turned on the coffee pot was Repentant and Saved. Peace and blessings to you, Repentant and Saved. Glad that you are here as well. And Josh and Penny, I told you, they are the moderators. They are the dynamic duo. Love them dearly. Love my family dearly. And, of course, we have my brother, Ben Naftali, in the house, as well as my brother, Jermaine Deacle. Yes, sir. I agree with you. I love the commandments, too. And we have, let's see. We have my sister, Chanaya Israel. Peace and blessings to you, my sister. Glad that you are here. Hopefully the hubby is close by. Tell him I said, what's up? Let's move forward here because we also have, who else did I see? Christine Croning is in the house. Peace and blessings to you, Christine Croning. Peace and blessings to you. Glad that you are here. And so, I thank the Most High for our family. We have far more watching than we do in the chat room, and I just simply want to say on all the different channels, there is someone actually watching via Twitch, and it's interesting. I'm trying to think of where that feed is, but nonetheless, we're glad that you are here. I'd love to know which one of you are listening to us and visiting us through Twitch. But hey, let's keep it moving. What we're going to do right now is we are actually going to take a look here at our main topic. And, all right, tell him I said Shabbat Shalom as well, my sister Kanaya. We are going to get into our topic at hand. and let's get ready for it. Let's have a discussion. I've got my coffee. I hope you have yours. It's time. All right, well, as you can see, the topic for today, the topic for today is the convention of the Word of the Most High. Now, I know. We've been kind of sneaking up on this subject in our past weeks. And this is really what we're getting at here. We're really sneaking up on a truth. We're sneaking up on not just the way that the Most High speaks to us, but how he spoke to those who are our forefathers and those that have given us the Tanakh. Now, I'm going to tell you this even before we get there. I'm going to warn you even before we get there that, listen, people by and large have taken the Tanakh, even before it was a Bible, by means of them switching the Hebrew Bible and then adding the Christian New Testament to it. Even before it was a Bible, people were using the Holy Book, the Holy Scriptures, in order to inject their level of control into mass society. I just gotta say it. We're gonna find it out. You're gonna see that even in the Tanakh, you had warring factions that were fighting against each other and using the Tanakh and using the word and the convention of the Word of the Most High in order to kind of like win their argument, if you will. This is as old as dirt, right? This is as old as time itself. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the conventions of the Word of the Most High. So we're asking the question, how does the Most High speak? How does the Most High speak? How does he speak to you? And how did he speak to those that came along before us? Okay? Well, now this is very important to us because we stand by the word of the Most High. So let's dig into it and let's begin to, now along the way we're going to make certain pit stops and we're going to answer and brush up against certain topics like, was the Tanakh ever corrupted or tainted, or was it manipulated? Well, we're going to be talking about that as we continue. But for right now, we are looking at the convention of the Word of the Most High. The convention of the Word of the Most High. Now, I know you're like, hey, there you go again, using these $17.52 words. Let's take a look here. A convention, if you take a look here, it simply means a way in which something is usually done. A way in which something is usually done, especially within a particular area or activity. Okay? So we're talking about the way something is done. So I said convention, it's just one word to say a way in which something is usually done. So looking at it then, when we talk about the convention of the Word of the Most High, we're talking about the way the Most High speaks. We're talking about the way that he speaks and whatever methods he has used. And those who have even said, hey, the Most High said to me, well, we're going to check those out because we have something in our favor. You have to look at this as a mystery when you're doing research. You have to look at things as a mystery, and you have to ask yourself the question, how do we know a certain thing? I love to think ontologically, which kind of helps that argument, but you always want to ask, well, how do we know something? How do we know this to be true, right? Well, people have said, well, the Most High spoke to me. Well, okay, how do we know that to be true? Looking at the convention of the Word of the Most High, we have something going in our favor. This is what we have going in our favor, because otherwise it seems like we are dealing with a needle in a haystack. But hey, blessed for us, we have something in our favor. I know I've gone to the scripture before, but this is very true. The Most High, who said, I don't change, I don't play that, I don't change. Okay, what I've said, my purpose and my means. They are within themselves solid, and they are established throughout eternity. Right? It is written, forever is your word settled in heaven. It's not changing. It's not being updated on the daily. It's not like a news flash. But the reason why we have something working for us is because the Most High has shown us how he is and who he is. He's shown that unto us. Okay, what do you mean? Notice what it says here, Malachi 3:6. I know, very familiar, but it reads, for I am Yah, and I change not. Right? Therefore, you sons of Jacob, you are not consumed. The reason why you're not consumed is because I don't change. And I said that I was going to do something, and I'm going to do it. Okay? So notice, the Most High says, I do not change. Well, this is not simply something that we can apply to a given covenant. Yes, it applies for every covenant, but it applies also to the ways and means that the Most High uses to move and to maneuver and to interact with us. Because he does not change, then we understand that there is, or I should say, we could detect a pattern, right? We can detect a pattern and understand that there may be a preference, okay, in methodology, but we can see what he's doing. We can see how he's speaking, and because he does not change, we can then see that he will move in those ways again to communicate with us and to us. And it then also, since he does not change, must have been the same methods, manners, and means that he used to communicate with those of old. Okay? That being stated, we have something going for us because of these truths. So now we can take a look. We can take a look at the word of the Most High and the very convention of the word of the Most High coming unto an individual. Okay, because we've heard this said a lot. And the word of the Most High came unto me saying, and we have heard this a lot. This is a convention that is in the Tanakh. And need I say, and I am going to say this, this convention, now please understand, with the Most High not changing, this convention being what it is, this method being what it is, the Most High speaking to us, if the Most High said, I do not change, then of course we would find these same methods and means of the Most High speaking in the Christian New Testament. Right? We would find it there, but we do not. I want you to notice something here. The word of the Most High states, in fact, let's do it this way. I want to talk about the word of the Most High as the Most High himself has shared his word. Okay? Now, we know that in the beginning, in fact, we'll even go there because there are some things that I feel are pertinent to this conversation. So let's take a look. Genesis 1:1. Okay? In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. Okay, great. And we know that he created, right? He said, he spoke, right? But there was no man around to witness this. And so this then, of course, is given to us as a part of our cultural history, but also as a part of prophetic inspiration. Okay, the book of Genesis with itself, chapters 1-11 especially, are concerned with the etiologies, why things are as they are, or where did this come from, where did that come from. And so I want you to see something here, because now when it comes to receiving and hearing the word of the Most High, in the beginning, Adam did not receive a note. He did not receive a letter. He did not receive a fax. He didn't receive an email or a text. But the Most High dealt with Adam person to person, face to face, and that's how he gave him his word. Okay? So the Most High visited Adam and Eve, because it's written here that he came walking in the garden in the cool of the day. So he was actually walking, and yes, the ancients saw the Most High as having a corporeal form, meaning a physical body, such as you would read in Genesis 18. Be that as it may, he gave his word unto Adam personally, face to face. Well, who else do we know that received the word of the Most High face to face? Yes, exactly. We're talking about none other than Moses himself, who also received the word of the Most High. It's read here in Exodus 33 and 11. And Yah spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaks unto his friend. And he turned again into the camp, but his servant Yehoshua ben Nun, a young man, departed not out of the temple. He stayed in the temple, right? But you see here, the Most High spoke to Moshe, how? Face to face. He spoke to him face to face. Well, okay, neither you nor I have had instances where the Most High appeared to us in this three-dimensional existence and said, hey, here I am, by the way, this is what I'm telling you right now, go do it. No, we have not at all had that experience. Unless you have, I don't know, let me know, write me. But we have not had that experience. By and large, we have not had that experience, right? And so we read about this. And we also understand that there is another convention that the Most High uses, okay? And, of course, we mentioned this on last time. This is, of course, in the area of dreams. The Most High does use dreams to give to us a vision, okay? To give to us a vision, if you will. And with him giving us this vision, notice what it's read here. In fact, let me just show you. And notice this is not just to the prophet, but this is to everyone. We're talking collectively, right? We're talking everyone. Every human being has the ability to receive a word from the Most High and to hear his voice. For now, notice what it reads here in Job 33, 14 through 16. For Elohim speaks once, yea, twice, but because we may not perceive it in our day-waking consciousness, we're too distracted, we're too bogged down with needs and so forth and so on, we can't hear what he's saying. So guess what happens? Look at verse number 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, notice, dreams are considered to be visions, even holy visions of the Most High. Right? We've been downplaying dreams just by means of our own culture. We've been downplaying dreams, and we say things like, oh, I had this crazy dream, or I had a dream. And it's true that you do have to, kind of like what they say, chew the meat and spit out the bones. You have to discern which dream comes from the Most High, because as I stated before, every 3 days your brain does a dump. It dumps out information that it remembers that it doesn't need, and so it gets rid of it, things that you saw, and it comes out in your dreams. Every one of us, we have dump dreams. That's what I've been calling them, because my family will call me and say, hey, I had this dream, what does this dream mean? And a lot of times they've had dump dreams that are not even significant, okay? It's just your mind taking out the garbage. Well, that being the case, these dreams, if you understand them, they can be from the Most High, and when they are from the Most High, they are, of course, considered to be a vision of the night. Please keep in mind that this is the method and means that the Most High has used continually to communicate to us, right? When deep sleep falls upon men, many of us, we sleep but not deep enough. There's issues with our sleeping. That's a whole nother subject. But when deep sleep falls upon man and slumberings upon his bed, then he, the Most High, will open their ears, right? And he will seal their instruction. He will seal their instruction, okay? And as I've stated before, when we are awakening and when we are in that twilight state, dangling in between sleep and awakening consciousness, a lot of times we get the download right then. Boop. Okay. And I want to say that it's the message being decoded right there. Boom. Here's what you need to do. That is a very important moment in time when we wake up. Okay. And notice what it reads in verse number 17 here, because it's very important. It's also a part of it. It says, and in fact, I'm going to highlight it here, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. In other words, it's going to take you out of the way that you want to move and going to remove your pride and keep back your soul from the pit. In other words, you're going to receive a word of salvation, a word to help you, a word to keep you going, right? This is what's going to happen in the midst of your dreams, right? Now, these are ways that the Most High actually speaks unto us as human beings, but also there's another way when it comes to the prophets. It just so happens that there is a discussion in the scripture regarding how the Most High speaks to the prophets, right? How he speaks unto the prophets. And I want to bring that before you. Give me just a second here. Okay. Let's do this, and let's go to. Okay. In fact, I'm sorry. Let me stop here. Deuteronomy 13. I want to read this to you because, again, this is part of our conversation when it comes to understanding how the Most High moves when it comes to speaking to his people. Deuteronomy 13. I'm going to begin. I'm going to begin at verse number 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams. So a prophet is a dreamer of dreams. And a dreamer of dreams can operate as a prophet. Okay? On that note, I had a woman to come up to me, and in fact, I remember this morning. She came up to me back in the day, and she said, I had a dream. And she said, you were in this big brown, well, it was a truck. It's actually a UPS truck, which she didn't say that it was a UPS truck, but long story short, she said it was a big truck. And then I was on the highway and I had an accident, but I was okay. A year later, I got a job as a UPS truck driver. Yeah, one of the big boys, one of the big brown trucks, right? And so I'm driving the truck, and one day on the highway, and it was really weird because just as I didn't know it until the police officer asked me about it because, yeah, I did have an accident. I rolled the truck like a donut. I'm talking about the wheels were up in the air, spinning over, spinning towards the sky. And so I'll never forget that because when I was married to my kid's mother, long story short, that was our 1-year anniversary that weekend, and I had this accident. It turns out that, yes, I was A-okay. I could point to some miraculous things, but the police officer asked me, he said, were you, now I was just driving straight, and I was actually reaching for something, because back then they said you could, look at your stops, and I'm like, okay. And I ended up having an accident because as I reached for it, I pulled the wheel, and then I overcorrected, and it was just, So the police officer asked me, he said, well, were you trying to swerve away from the dead cat? I said, a dead cat? He says, yeah. He said, we found something very strange in the road right where you had your accident. There was a black cat with its heart removed right in the lane where you skidded from. We look at your marks here, and that's right where you skidded from. Were you trying to swerve away from the cat? I'm like, no, I was not trying to swerve away from the cat, right? And that's kind of like a part of another story. Listen, for those of you that know me, I'm telling you, my life reads like a movie script. I kid you not. That actually happened, but that's actually connected to some other incident that I cannot even get into right now because it's not our topic. Okay? But my point is, this woman was acting as a prophet when she told me, hey, guess what? You're going to have an accident, but you're going to be okay. And it did come to pass. Well, as we look at this scripture in Deuteronomy 13, if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign of the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other Elohim, which thou hast not known, let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for Yah your Elohim proves you to know whether you love Yah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul, or are you itching to go after other Elohim. Verse 4, ye shall walk after Yah your Elohim, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, again, the prophet is connected with the facility to be able to dream dreams, okay, consistently. Remember, the kingdom operates by means of consistency and not just, the one-offs, right? It says, and that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he hath spoken to turn you away from Yah your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust you out of the way that Yah your Elohim commanded you to walk in. So shall you put evil away from the midst of you. So again, a dreamer here has the capacity to fulfill a prophetic office. But as we get to chapter 8, Deuteronomy 18, okay, I want you to see something here. Let me go on down, let me scroll down to it. I want you to see something here. You know what? I need to grab something to drink. Give me a second. We're going to take a break. Be right back.
Hi, I'm Melchior Uriel, and I'm so delighted to meet you. I'm glad that you stopped by. I'm glad that you're curious, and I'm glad that you clicked on the video.
All right, so here we are, and thank you for that. I needed to get me something to drink, but let's continue. Let's continue this conversation, and let's deal with certain truths that are laid out before us. Now, we're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, 18 chapters. I had already previously mentioned. Notice what it reads here. Okay, it says in verse number 15, and Yah your Elohim will raise you up a prophet from the midst of you, from the midst of your brethren, like unto me. Him you shall hearken unto. Okay? According to all that you desire. And I could, listen, for the sake of time, for the sake of brevity, let me just simply point this out to you. That he says that he's going to raise him up a prophet from among their brethren, right? And he says he's going to put his words in his mouth. And if you notice, the Most High mentions as well the birth of the prophet's ministry, which combined the two, which references the two ways, the two conventions that the Most High uses in order to communicate with us. Remember, he came and appeared to Moses. He also appeared to the nation of Israel. And Israel said, you know what, this is too much for us, man. We can't take it. Okay? This was the birth of the prophet's ministry, which is why in Deuteronomy 18 here, the Most High says, you know what? very well did they say, hey, you go up for us and, come back down. Because, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. The prophet's office is born. They're going to come before me. And then, of course, I'm going to give them my word. And I'm going to let them share it with the people. So there was high fives for everyone. And this was the birth of the prophet's office. Okay. So in this, though, the Most High, he hereby connects these two conventions of physically visiting them in Deuteronomy 18, physically visiting them, and the office of the prophet being born, which now, as we see, also incorporates dreams, okay, which is how the Most High is getting his word to his prophets, all right? Well, as we continue here, these two conventions are such that the Most High, he does deal with us in dreams, he does deal with us. But now, wait a minute. There are many passages in the Tanakh where it mentions, and the word of the Lord came, the word of Yah came unto me, saying. There are people who are suggesting that when the Most High speaks, that the word that he speaks becomes a person, it becomes a specific person, and this specific person then is none other than another branch of the Godhead. It's the second person. It's JC himself, Yeshua ben Yosef, called Jesus by the Greeks and the pagans. And so this is the word made flesh. Despite the fact that in John 1:1, the Neoplatonian reference to the Logos, which is exactly what you find in John chapter 1, verse 1, they get that from Plato. That's Neoplatonism and his discourse regarding the Logos, and how the Logos is more than just words. It's, the feelings and the intentions and the very embodiment, and and then of course it goes from there, the embodiment of what is felt and thought, and he had a body, and then of course in John 1:14 says yes, and basically he dwelt with us in bodily form, blah blah blah, full of grace and mercy and truth. All of that comes from Plato. Okay, it does not come from the Most High. Think about this for a second. If that convention were true, according to the Christians, if that were true, then the Most High would have to be a mute. What? Yes. If every time the Most High spoke, and it was no longer him, it was no longer his voice, but a separate person now that's going to go do something, then the Most High can't speak. Because his word would always be something else other than his voice. It would be this person going about to do stuff that's supposedly a different person than the person that sent the word, but the word has the heart and intent of the person, but it's not the person, but another person. No, this makes absolutely no sense at all. That being the case, my brothers and my sisters, listen. If they say that this word that was spoken by the Most High, that it took on flesh, okay, as I said before, not only would that make the Most High mute, okay, wouldn't be able to speak, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense that this could be another entity that is separate from the Most High, because the Word is the Most High's thoughts and feelings and intents and purposes being communicated in an energetic form that will accomplish its task in this three-dimensional existence. How do you get another deity out of that, right? Well, moving away and backing away from that fallacy concerning the word, there is when it comes to dealing with the word being transmitted to prophets, and that prophet then somehow transcribing the word into written form, and it coming to us as a part of the Tanakh, we have an example of that right in front of us in the Tanakh itself. It is powerful, and it speaks into the convention of how the Most High speaks His word and what He does on a regular basis. Let's take a look here then at the book of Yirmiyahu, the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, the first 4 verses speak volumes into the Most High speaking His word unto us. Excuse me. I've been swallowing for years. You'd think I'd be able to do it right. Looking at Jeremiah 1:1, it of course introduces the words of Jeremiah. Okay, and let's just go ahead and read it. It says, the words of Yirmiyahu ben Hilkiah, of the priests that were in Anathoth in the land of Benjamin, to whom the word of the Lord came in the days of. Now, I need you to understand something here. That now, from verses 2 on 4 through 4, it's going to be very specific concerning the word of the Most High being transmitted, and this gives us insight into the very convention of the word of the Most High and how He speaks. So looking at Yirmiyahu chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, it reads that the word of the Most High came unto Jeremiah in the days of Josiah, son of Ammon, king of Judah, in the 13th year of his reign. Please keep in mind that the ancients used kings' reigns and years of kings' reigns as their chronological history markers. Okay, they use them as chronological history markers, right? They may say, well, in the first year of his reign, or in the second year of his reign, and he'll name the king and he'll tell you the year of their reign, and they're marking, okay, they're marking a historical marker, they're marking of when this happened. Now, please keep that in mind as we take a look here at the word coming to Jeremiah, because he says, you know what, the word of Yah came unto him in the days of Josiah, the son of Ammon, king of Judah, in the 13th year of his reign, not the 12th, but in the 13th year of his reign. It came also, not just then, but it came also in the days of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, okay, unto the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the carrying away of Jerusalem captive in the 5th month. This is perhaps one of the most descriptive and informative detailings of when a prophet receives a word and how they have received that word. It is absolutely amazing. It is absolutely phenomenal. And what I like about this is that as we take a look here, notice that this is, I mean, it gets intimate, because notice what is right here in verse number 5. I know people have looked at this verse and said, well, yeah, you know, this is, yeah, see, you know, you got to be careful, you know, you need your kids and don't have abortions, because notice what it says here in verse 5, and yeah, all of that fits, all of that's true. But notice what's read here: before I formed you in the belly, okay, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of thy mother's womb, I sanctified you, I ordained you a prophet unto the nations. Okay, then said I, man, yeah, I'm messed up because I can't speak. It kind of sounds like Moshe, doesn't it? I can't speak. Now, Moses said, I can't speak because I have a speech impediment. But hey, Jeremiah said, man, I'm too young, dude. I'm a child, and I know it, right? I'm a child. And Yah said, hey, don't even talk like that. Don't even talk like that. Okay? Don't even talk like that. I'm with you. I got you. Okay. And then, of course, he put his words. If we scroll down further, the Most High puts his words in his mouth. Okay? So looking at this, then, we understand something, that the word of the Most High, when it comes by convention, it is not something that every 5 minutes someone is saying, and the Lord told me, and the Lord said to me, and the Lord spoke to me. The Lord said, don't touch the peanut butter. I mean, they come up with all these different words, these, the Lord said to me. And I'm going to tell you something. Back when I was in the church, I was trying to do the whole speaker circuit thing. And they just came out and told me, said, look, dude, you can preach, but man, you got to have an anointing for the money. And I would see these guys go up there. The Lord said, everybody give $77.77. I couldn't do it, and I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. Okay? Juanita Bynum is still doing that mess to this day. Ways of getting money. Look at her channel. Ways of getting money. I hear the Lord said, everybody give $50.55. I was in a service where she heard the word of the Lord, right? And the Lord said, everybody had to get up out of their seats, take the right amount of money in their hands, and crawl up to the offering plate. You think I'm kidding? I kid you not. I just want to say, there's a lot of people saying that they are hearing from the Most High, and it's hogwash. It's garbage, okay? We're going to be talking a little bit later about what happens even within the human psyche when an individual incorporates the belief that the Most High speaks to them, but it's not the Most High speaking to them. What happens in those cases? What happens when the Most High really does speak to you? Well, we're going to have to pick that up on next time, but for now, these are the conventions and ways in which the Most High does speak. He does speak to us by his appointed spokesman, his spokesperson, who will then have received a message from him in a vision of the night or by visitation. Either one of those are yet possible today. However, the visitation may not be the heavens opening and the earth quaking and shaking. No, it may not be that way, but you may have a visitation where the Most High simply enlightens your heart and enlightens your consciousness and literally puts a word within your heart, such as your heart can hear. That yet and still is possible and available for today. And for those of us who, for whatever reason, need the dream, yes, he appears to us and gives us our commandments, our understandings, our truths, and our revelations in dreams. Please keep in mind that no matter what it is that you feel that you have heard from the Lord, it has to line up with the Tanakh. Okay? It has to line up with the Tanakh, which is part of the reasons, if you will, behind the Deuteronomy 8 and 15 discourse about, hey, if there is, Deuteronomy 13, verses 1 on down, where it talks about, if a prophet come to you and give you a sign and it come to pass, yeah, that's cool, high fives for everyone, but the moment that joker starts speaking out of line and tells you to do something that's not in the Tanakh, hey, give him the right boot of disfellowship. By the way, the ancient prescription was to give him the skull and crossbones, and you know what? Hey, that's just simply what it was. So you had to be careful, because you could actually open your mouth and literally talk yourself to death. I didn't mean to be funny, but that is funny. I mean, you could talk yourself into a deadly situation. But we're going to pick this up here. Perhaps we'll get a chance to discuss what happens in the inner psyche and spirit when the Most High really does speak to us, and what happens right when we communicate with him as well. I'm Melchior Uriel, and guess what? We're going to take a quick little break here, then we're going to open it up for questions and comments. Yes, we are. We're going to open it up for questions and comments concerning this segment, and then we're going to move on. All right, so here we are. We are definitely back, and now is the time that we're going to give you an opportunity to ask your questions concerning this segment, the Convention of the Word of the Most High. The Convention of the Word of the Most High. Yep. How does he speak to us? And long story short, hey, not everyone that's saying that they're hearing from the Lord is really hearing from the Most High. Definitely not. Which is why, Yah willing, next week we're going to pick this up and deal with the whole, what's happening, when we embark upon these things of saying that the Most High has spoken to us. Let me tiptoe into the chat room here. And as I tiptoe into the chat room, okay, those of you that will ask a question or a comment, then please address it to me. If you are watching this for the first time, please smash the like button. Yep. Subscribe. Come on now. There's 0 calories involved in you subscribing. Hit that subscribe button, okay? In fact, you may lose a calorie or two, and whatever calories, it takes to put your finger forward and hit the button, that takes energy. So, magic coat swinging Benny Hinn. All of that is just foolishness. It really is nothing less than foolishness. It's theatrics. I forget who is cited in the quote. A minister came to an actor and said, I don't understand it. We preach the truth and you portray lies, but yet your theaters are full and our churches are empty. And the actor said, well, you say that you have the truth, but you present it as if it's a lie. We speak lies, but we present it as if it's the truth. All of the shenanigans that goes on in church, it's nothing but theatrics, okay? Which, by the way, you're going to see a little bit of here in just a little bit. So man, Peter Popoff. Oh my goodness. No, I didn't see that name. Definitely Peter Popoff. There is, I do see a couple of questions here. Okay, let's see. I'm looking for, after the announcement where our moderator has stated that now is the time for questions. I want to start there. And we have a call. Calls do take precedence over chat questions. Here we go. Shalom. Shabbat shalom. Who's speaking?
Shabbat shalom, Edward.
Hey, I know this voice.
Yes, sir. This is definitely moving different.
Yes. How you been?
Awesome. So I had a question regarding the topic. This scripture, these 3 verses in 2 Samuel, I always thought it was the Most High sent a being down as the word. But I want you to read it for me. 2 Samuel 24. Give me 1 second.
Okay. I will at least try to go there until you get the other one. 2 Samuel
24, verses 11 through 13. And I'll let you go ahead, Elder.
All right. Thank you, my brother.
You're welcome. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to you. Good to hear from you. All right. So, 2 Samuel. Let's take a look here. 2 Samuel 24, 11 through 13. For when doubt, you can't see this. Oh, hey, hold on here. What's going on here, y'all? What's going on? Hold on. Okay, there we go. You can't see the scriptures, but now you can. 2 Samuel 24:11. For when David Hamelech was up in the morning, the word of the Lord came unto the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, Go and say unto David Hamelech, Thus says Yah, I offer thee 3 things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto thee. So Gad came to David and told him, and said unto him, Shall 7 years of famine come unto thee in the land? Or wilt thou flee 3 months before thine enemies, while they pursue thee? Or that there be 3 days pestilence in thy land? Now advise, and see what answer I shall return to him that sent me. So, as far as our subject is concerned here, where it reads in verse number 11, For when David was up in the morning, the word of the Lord came unto the prophet Gad, David's seer. Okay. As far as this, I'm not sure the exact question that my brother has, other than it does mention that the next day that the word of the Lord did come to Gad, the seer. So it implies that something happened during the day whereby Gad received the word of the Most High. Now, this actually gets us into a different part of the topic, a different part of the whole subject in general, because the convention is that the word of the Most High comes to the prophet or comes to the individual. It is a different process entirely when the prophet goes to inquire of the Most High. Okay? It's a two-way channel. It's a two-way street. The word of the Lord can come. It can be delivered to you, or you can go get it. Okay? It's just like your DoorDash. It's just like when you order food at a restaurant. You can either get it sent to you, or you can go pick it up. And that convention does exist with the word of the Most High. There's times where the word of the Most High had to be divined, if you will, by Urim and Thummim, or it had to be divined by lots, where someone had to pick the short straw, or again, a prophet would have a dream. So I'm not sure if Gad actually began to do the prayer meditations of a prophet in the Hebraic system of Hitbodedet, where the prophet is secluded and meditating and praying and has a heightened sense of nature and the way that things work in the universe and in nature specifically. And out of that communion time with the Most High, the word of the Most High, or a revelation, will come, and it will be the word of the Most High. That may be what happened here. Okay. And I'll just leave that right there. If the question is, if there's something more specific that you want to ask, please let me know, and I will definitely go back to, that, right? Looking, seeing what else has my name on it so that I can address it. Okay. Let me look here. I'm looking. I don't see any. I don't know. I thought I saw something from Christine Croning, but you know what? I don't see any questions with my name on it. I'm sorry, I'm looking. I don't see my name. And I apologize, family, but I do have to scroll quickly. And if my name is not on it, then I will have a hard time. Well, Hezekiah, okay, my sister Jacqueline E. Bugs asked the question. She says, well, is Hezekiah a prophet too? Hezekiah was a king, and There are very few kings that have actually had a prophetic bent or a prophetic office. Dawid Hamelech was said to be a prophet, okay? Even though he was king, he also had some abilities when it comes to priests, because he was able to grab the horns of the altar and enter into the, into the holy place. So, and also he ate the shewbread. So there's things that are specific about those two. However, when it comes to Hezekiah, Hezekiah was not a king. In fact, he was dealt with by prophets and talked to by prophets, but Hezekiah himself was not a prophet. Now, despite the fact that he was one of the main redactors of the Tanakh, Hezekiah was not a prophet in the prophet's office. Definitely not. Okay, so all right. I do see something from Christine Croning. Let me go ahead and grab that. Christine Croning says, all these false teachers today in Christianity and other religious institutions leading us away from the truth of the Most High Yah to worship other false deities, they will be punished, they will be damned. And yes, they will, and amen to that. They will be punished and they will be dealt with by the Most High. I thought I saw another question by my sister, Jacqueline E. Bugs. Hey, Jacqueline E. Bugs. Okay, there we go, from my sister Christine Croning. What will happen to all those who have been led astray by these false prophets today and they don't find the truth? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I understand that an individual can be led astray, right? But just as we read in Job 33 and 11, the Most High yet is communicating with the hearts of the individuals, okay? They may have been led astray, but I believe that it is the Most High himself that will go get them, if you will, by means of giving them a dream, by giving them the insight that they need in the dream, and thereby getting the word that they need for their lives. The Most High will seal your instructions in the midst of those visions of the night, okay? So I believe that there is grace for them. I think that there is hope for them, right? And ultimately the Most High has to judge. And I'm going to leave that there. Yeah, I know. Jacqueline Buck says that, yeah, YouTube does steal your subscribers. I know. There's been people that have been unsubscribed by YouTube, okay? Let me continue. Okay. Uriah Lesh, how do you know when a dream comes from Yah? Very good question. I'm going to give you an example. Back in the day when I was in psychological studies, coming across the works of Carl Gustav Jung, he introduced a particular discipline, if you will, a mental discipline that I thought was absolutely fabulous. It was fascinating. In practicing it, I began to notice some things about it that that really stuck out to me in how they relate to the spiritual realm itself, because this really was a spiritual activity. When a dream is from the Most High will make himself present. He will make himself known. And I have to admit, there are even different flavors, if you will, of dreams that come from the Most High. Now, I'm going to share this with you. Even before I say it, I know how this sounds, okay? Uriah, I know how this sounds even before I say it, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's the best way that I know to communicate this. There are dreams that come from the Most High that will either be so lucid and so real and crystal clear, Okay. And in those events, I've noticed, now me, I'm just saying, I've noticed that I was seeing the future. Okay. Because whenever I've had a dream like that, it came to pass exactly as I saw it. I don't have that ability within myself. I know that as spiritual beings, we do have the ability to loosen the bands of time, okay, just by means of our spiritual nature. Which, by the way, there's somewhat of a controversy on that, whether or not the eternity is the multiplicity of days or just the absence of time itself and you being able to go into any stream of existence, whether it's considered the future or the past. But that's a whole nother thing. So I found that they are very real. They are they are notable. And the Most High will make himself present in the dreams that come from him. And I have to say it, but you will know that the voice of the Most High is speaking to you in the dream because he is speaking, and his presence, your heart will recognize his presence. Okay? The dream will have something in it by way of instruction. It will always turn out to be a solution and not just something that is like a big problem. Okay? You have to understand that the Most High will speak to you and he will communicate to you. And remember what we covered in some of our, you weren't here for some of our other sessions. But the Most High will use your consciousness and your psyche and where you are with what you understand in this moment and in this time. He will use that. Okay, remember Proverbs 20 and 27. The spirit of man is the candle or the light source that the Most High uses. So this is what he does in dreams. He uses you in dreams, and you will know. He will communicate to your heart, and he will make himself known to you in the dream. Okay? Moving right along. Let's see here. All right. How do I feel about those Christian rappers? I put them in the lump with all the other Christians. I feel the same about all of them. Okay, thank you for giving some clarity, moving different. The word came to Gad, and Gad told David, so I can tell him that sent me. And he said, implying that the word was a man. I think that that's inaccurate, that the word is a man. A man may carry the word. A man is given the word. Moshe was given the word to share with the elders of Israel and then with all Israel. But you cannot say that the word was a man, because that word is not the whole man. It's not the total of his corporeal being. Neither is it the totality of his psyche, his consciousness, his feelings, his emotions. But yet, a man can carry the word. Okay? I would not say that the word was a man. And thank you, Ben Naftali. Ben Naftali, appreciate that. Helping out here a little bit. Okay, so Jacqueline E. Bugs, she says, can I ask about Isaiah 40 and 3 in Hebrew? Well, let's take a look at it. And then, you know what? It looks like that is it for... Looks like that is it for the question. So I'm going to answer this question, and then we're going to move to our next segment. How about that? Isaiah, my sister wants Isaiah 40 and 3 in the Hebrew. Here we go. Let me get that. In fact, let me get that and a drink of water real quick. All right, all right. Okay, so Isaiah 40 and 3 in the Hebrew. Here we go. All right, let's take a look. Oh, you can't see the scriptures, but now you can. Isaiah 40. Excuse me. Okay, Isaiah 40. Let me make sure that I have the right verse of scripture here before I comment on something. And my sister said, I think she did say Isaiah 40 and 3, right? Yep, I think she did. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare you the way and make straight in the desert place for our Elohim. In the Hebrew, it's actually, in the Hebrew, it's Kol Koreh, okay? So, basically a voice crying out Bamidbar in the desert, okay? Panu derech Ya'ol Yisrael. Okay, so I don't see where this, unless you have a specific question about a particular word or tense or whether it's in the imperfect or the perfect. I mean, I don't see anything that sticks out to me that would be drastically different than what the verse reads in English. Okay. A voice crying out, Bamidbar, in the wilderness. Okay. The Kol does not have the direct article in front of it, but it's crying out. This is also, it's crying out in the wilderness. Okay. And Panu, Derech. Yeah, I mean, it's. I guess I'd want to know if there's something specific that you're asking. Let me go back to the chat room and see. Maybe there's something specific that you're after. Okay, maybe there's something specific. Let me see if I can pull that up. Whose voice is crying out? Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you. I'm glad that you, help me out with that there. Okay, so let me go back to the verse in Hebrew here. So it just says a voice that is crying out in the wilderness. Okay. Let me go. Let me even take a look here at 2. And his word upon the heart. Let's see here. And his word upon the hearts of Jerusalem. And he will cry out unto their God because okay, I'm trying to see whose voice this is according to the Hebrew here. Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohikim. So basically, if I go by what is okay, basically this here is the future tense, amar, to say, Elohim, the God of your people. Okay. So it sounds like the Most High is the voice in the wilderness. If I go by the clause here in the first verse of chapter 40, my sister, it seems like that is the voice of the Most High that is crying in the wilderness. Sorry about that. Wanted to make sure. Wanted to look at the Hebrew. Wanted to go a little bit further into it. Okay. All right. You know what? I think that's it for that. Guess what? We are getting ready to go into another segment. Be right back. This is one of those. It is nothing more than theatrics, and this, I'm sorry, there is no kind of inspiration or, gleaming of the word of the Most High from this foolishness that I can gather. And by the way, I agree with you, Ben Naphtali. He says, crying out through the voice of the prophet of the Most High. Yes. That is my understanding as well, but it's still his, you know what I mean. Anyway.
But my child was in the belly of the whale. Something began to happen. The whale, it could have been Free Willy 18. It could have been Free Willy Uncle.
So Free Willy is in the scriptures. The Most High was using Free Willy with Jonah.
But I don't know why Jonah was in the belly of the whale.
Hey, my ringtone does not sound that bad. My ringtone. This is not like my ringtone.
He began to pray.
I gotta pee. Hallelujah. Yeah. Jesus.
Now, what's so happy about the fact that the preacher said he got to go to the bathroom? I don't get it.
I said Jesus.
We don't need no music, let the Holy Ghost work. We don't need no music, let the Holy Ghost work.
I'm with you, my sister Kanaya Israel. I'm with you. I'm doing the same thing. I'm sorry, this is foolishness.
We don't need no music, let the Holy Ghost work.
Of hands, first timers in the house tonight. Your first time. Oh my goodness. We got a newbie in the house, a newbie in the house, a newbie in the house. We got a newbie in the house, a newbie in the house, a newbie in the house. Hey, we got a newbie in the house, a newbie in the house, a newbie in the house. Online, we got a newbie online, a newbie online, a newbie online. Hey, bring it back. This ain't your mama's church. And I just want to say thank you one more time. Hey, the devil don't know what I'm saying. Hey.
I just have to take a moment. I'm sorry. I have to take a moment. Peace and blessings to Yirmiyahu Yisrael. This is okay. What gets me is this has been normalized, not just within the black experience, but in Pentecostalism. This has been normalized and widely accepted to where you can grab a microphone in front of thousands of people and say dee 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 da 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 da, literally dee 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 da 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 da, and say the devil don't understand what I'm saying, and everybody get happy. I mean, hey, I mean, I would say only in America, but as you're about to find out, it's not. It ain't just America.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. We are the new breed. Oh, here we go. We are the new breed.
They not like us. They not like us. They not
We are the new breed.
They not like us. They not like us. They not
We are the new breed.
They not like us.
Come on.
They not like us.
We are the new breed. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
So,
What?
again, we say
Erkin in the
thank you
pulpit?
all,
Really?
and certainly,
Really?
when I say you all,
Really?
everybody, but
The-
particularly for our guests.
Did I just see
we like
what I
to give
saw?
our guests a white white glove experience. We can give you the black hand too, but we're going to give you the white hand.
So without something coming out of him for compatibility, he still had human hormones. Who would he been attracted to if there was no rib? He would have been messing with the animals around him. That nigga lying.
In Africa, there you go. I'm sorry, but some of that really is. It's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. See what I can do. See what I can do. Grandpa was getting down, wasn't he? You see him do that? I mean, he dropped it a couple of times.
I baptize you in the name of Jesus. Have your way, Lord. Have your way, Lord. Have your way, Lord.
Forgotten, I am not forgotten. Yes, he knows my name. He knows my name. Benjamin, sueña vive. Benjamin, sueña vive. Benjamin, sueña dice. He knows my name. He knows my name. Oh. Everybody last time. He knows my name. He knows my name.
And then I double back around.
Okay, so listen, I'm sorry, y'all, but I gotta at least let you hear this last one, okay? Because this is crazy.
Around like an hour later, I said, Father, thank you for hearing me and giving me authority to talk to you, and you obey me.
Did you hear that? He says that the Most High obeys him.
God obeys me because I obey God. And I always will obey the Holy Ghost. I will always respect him. But he respects me. He does what I say.
That nigga lying.
God obeys me. So when I see somebody don't obey me, I think they're stupid. I do. Let me be honest with you. I do.
Yeah. Okay, so the Most High obeys him. And if you don't do what he says, he thinks that you're stupid because, I mean, according to him, the God of the universe is obeying him, so why not you?
I do think that they're stupid because I know the God that made heaven and earth. I know the God that could sign a seal and send you to hell. I know he obeys my voice.
Now, it's different if you're going to say like Elijah, if I be a man of God, then let such and such a thing happen. Okay? That's different than you commanding God. Okay? And I feel like that's something that actually, believe it or not, I feel like Kenneth Copeland started that back in the late 80s. Okay? Kenneth Copeland read the scripture over in Isaiah where it says, where the Most High was reprimanding Israel, and he was saying, concerning the works of my hands, command ye me, like a question, like, you know, a rhetorical question, like, you're going to command me? But he took it as a command, as if you need to command me. Concerning the works of my hands, command me. And it was a part of that whole faith movement, and I got faith, and blab it and grab it and all that stuff. Okay? But that being the case, I mean, why, of course, now, here it is, 30, 40 years later, and of course you've got individuals that are just feeling like they have that ability, okay? Because in order, okay, so my sister asked, she says, I used to listen to him. Why wouldn't he listen to him? It is his creation. Okay. True, very true, very true. But at the same time, you got to ask yourself the question. If let's say a 3-year-old child comes into you and tells you, you know, you're not going into work tomorrow. I mean, you're like, okay, I'm the parent here. You're the child. You go somewhere and sit down. I'll handle this. It's a matter of authority. Okay? The moment we begin to command the Most High is the moment that he becomes our servant, and we cease to be the servant, but we begin to be the master. That is my issue with that. Now, there's a difference between the Most High listening to him as far as a supplication, a desire, but he's not asking, he's commanding. You know, and you're right, Uriah. He could have said he listens to me, or he answers my prayers, but not, you know, he does what I say. I mean, I'm sorry. I got to agree with my brother Naphtali. That's arrogance, spiritual arrogance to the nth degree. Okay? So, but he didn't say he hears my voice or he hears me. He says he does what I say. Okay? Which I'm taking that as okay. Oh, well, thank you for clarifying that, my sister Jacqueline Bugs. But you know what? Just a little bit more of this, and then we out of here, because this is crazy.
And I didn't scream, I didn't shout, I didn't sweat.
Tell your neighbor, your gift is gonna work, because the season is just Rudolph.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Did you all see that? Hold on. Let me go back.
Yes. Rudolph. Rudolph. The red-nosed reindeer.
I can't take it. I'm done. I can't take it. I'm done. This is just too crazy. This is just...
Strange coincidences.
All right, hey, we're getting ready to, you guys are making, listen, you guys are cracking me up here. Josh and Penny says he looks like he's from Star Trek. He does, he did look like he had the uniform on. Oh, that's crazy. He looked like he had on the captain's uniform. All he needs is a badge on the side. You know, my brother Ben Naphtali says, what's Rudolph got to do with it? Oh, my goodness, my goodness. It's all good, said he preaching Christmas carols. Oh, my goodness. You guys are so funny. You guys are so funny. Here now is the controversial corner, and this controversial corner deals with aspects of our reality that may be slightly outside of our third dimension. Let's kind of see what's going on here with, let's see, how controversial can we get with this?
Strange coincidences.
What the am I looking at here?
Mind-bending moments and some really eerie clips that defy logic. Hang on to see what happens when the veil of reality slips and shocks the whole world. During a conference, a startling clip of Queen Elizabeth captured everyone's attention. For a brief moment, one of her eyes turned completely black, an eerie sight that was hard to miss. This footage sparked wild theories, especially among those who believe in the alien lizard race from the constellation Draco. According to them,
okay, so I know that that was not supposed to be a lizard person from the constellation Draco, but if that's going to be your example, you could at least make them have black eyes like the person you're talking about? Just saying.
Influential figures, including royalty, might be shape-shifting beings controlling our world. While some argue it was just an odd shadow or a camera fault, others see it as proof of something more supernatural.
That was not a camera fault. I'm sorry.
However, if you believe in the alien lizard, this idea would be ideal for explaining this sudden change of eye.
There is no way that you could say that that's a camera fault or that's a, you know, whatever. I mean, we are looking at what we're looking at.
Red to green.
The season of giving is all about hope, compassion, and joy. Yet for some...
Chancellor, will the budget still be going ahead?
During a live Sky News broadcast, viewers spotted something odd. A man walked out holding a bright red folder. He didn't stop, didn't exchange anything, and yet, by the time he reached the end of the shot, the folder had turned green. This clip came from a serious news agency, so it's unlikely to be something weird with science. This might be a real-life Matrix error, or perhaps there's another explanation for this strange occurrence. Either way, it's odd enough to make anyone look twice.
Chancellor, will the budget still be going ahead?
Three-legged man.
What am I looking at here?
Captured Captured in the act on a busy street, this man appeared to have not 2, but 3 legs. It was a baffling sight that had viewers scratching their heads and asking for explanations. Was it a trick of light, or perhaps perfectly timed footage, where something else in the environment looked like a leg? Some might have wondered if it was an artistic expression or performance, aimed to provoke thoughts on human form and identity. Or it could have been just a touch of humor or absurdity, where the extra leg was a quirky addition.
I don't think that that is an extra leg. I think that he has his hands in his pocket, and that is, he sewed another pants leg on, and there's a wooden arm, a wooden extension underneath. You can tell by the way when he turns around and kicks that leg out, supposedly. And if you notice, the balance of his weight is never on that other extraneous leg, but where his regular 2 legs would be.
Meant to create a laugh or two, whatever it was. This was unusual.
What the fuck am I looking at here?
Strange changes.
Earlier this month, unfortunately, we weren't able to reach the school district for comment.
During a live TV show, something very odd happened to this reporter. People watching started to notice that his skin looked different, almost like it had scales. At first, everyone thought it was just the TV acting up, but then it got weirder and his face kept changing. So the TV crew quickly changed the camera angle. Online, some people joked that he might be part of an alien group called reptilians, who disguise themselves as humans. This strange moment made a lot of people talk and wonder if maybe, just maybe, there's something mysterious going on with some of these people.
Earlier this month, unfortunately, we weren't able to reach the school district for comment.
Invisible opponent. In the boxing ring, every punch has a story, but this time, there was something seriously strange going on. One boxer had no visible opponent, yet he was still getting hit, ducking and defending himself from punches, as if fighting someone only he could see.
That's crazy.
Coach stood nearby, watching with a puzzled look, probably wondering if the boxer was having some sort of mental lapse. But here's the thing. The footage shows him moving as if he's genuinely responding to punches. Was there an invisible opponent in the ring? Certainly looked like it. Proof.
Okay. That last one with the boxing, what gets me. Okay, thank you. I'll see if he can help me with that. An ad stopper. I didn't know there was such a thing, but okay. What gets me about that last boxing. Let me stop it at the scene that I'm talking about.
One boxer had no visible opponent, yet he was still.
Okay, now what gets me about this shot here, and I think that we've got some CGI going on. I think we've got, they have the ability to, take, to take things out of shots, right? What gets me is if these two guys were alone in the ring and this guy's being punched right in front of the referee would freak out. The referee would freak out and he'd be like, oh my God, something's happening here. But notice he is just as calm as a cucumber because there is nothing, absolutely nothing different about this than any other fight. This is just sensationalism. And this is not controversial to me, at least not this part.
Getting hit, ducking, and defending himself from punches, as if fighting.
And what about all the other people? I mean, they would be just as irate and, they would be going crazy too. So this is nothing but, someone playing around.
Fighting someone only he could see. The coach stood nearby, watching with a puzzled look, probably wondering if the boxer was having some sort of mental lapse. But here's the thing. The footage shows him moving as if he's...
No, the ref would stop. The ref would throw up his hands and be like, look, security or something. I mean, hey,
genuinely responding to punches. Was there an invisible opponent in the ring? Certainly looked like it. Proof of reptilians. Do you believe in the reptilian mask conspiracy? There's this theory that giant humanoid reptiles live among us, blending in with human appearances. And honestly, this video might just support that idea. A man was recording himself, and what he revealed was chilling. First his one hand, then the other, and finally his face. It looked like he was peeling away a mask. But here's the real question. Why did he record this? It almost feels like he's ready to show his true form, as if he's preparing for a fight without any disguise. It's strange to think about, but this clip has definitely left people wondering what's really going on. Eyes roll. During a recent concert, Katy Perry went viral for a strange problem with her eye. All dressed up and in the middle of performing, her eye suddenly appeared to
That's actually witchcraft. That's not... That was no accident. That was actually done on purpose. Her shutting her eyes like that. That's... these people.
shift and unbalance, almost pink. The man on water. Check out this wild video. It shows a person walking right on top of the water. Some people were saying it might be an alien or something from another dimension. Pretty spooky, right? But let's not get too carried away just yet. It might actually be something called pontoon shoes, or maybe a special inflatable device that lets you walk on water. These things help so that you don't sink by spreading out your weight. And this isn't a new idea. People have been trying to walk on water with gadgets like these for a long time, even way back when Leonardo da Vinci was around. So maybe this person in the video was just using some really cool tech then, I guess. Mirror, mirror. So, this girl was just messing around, testing out some phantasmagoria in the mirror to see if anything cool would happen. Pretty harmless, right? But then things got really freaky. As she looked into the mirror, her reflection suddenly seemed to stare right at the camera with a completely different expression than hers. Spooky stuff! This weird moment brings up an old belief that mirrors might actually be portals to other worlds. In some cultures, people think mirrors can connect us to alternate realities, or even to spirits. That's why sometimes reflections seem off or don't quite match with what we're doing. Or maybe, just maybe, she got a glimpse of some portals to other worlds. In some cultures, people think mirrors can connect us to alternate realities, or even to spirits. That's why sometimes reflections seem off or don't quite match with what we're doing. Or maybe, just maybe, she got a glimpse of something beyond our world.
Okay, so yeah, a little controversial on the mirror thing, right? But you could actually separate two different clips and make it look like one's doing one thing, anyway, that's kind of what I think was happening there.
Disappear from social media and do this instead.
All right, so got to get rid of another ad.
Take a look at this now! A van was driving along, totally normal, approaching a spot where it was supposed to stop next to another van. But then, things took a strange turn. Both vans seemed to lift up slightly, almost as if they were floating for a second, then suddenly dropped back down. It was like reality just malfunctioned for a moment. This might be a time slip or temporal distortion. Basically, the idea is that the vans experienced a quick problem in time, making them act in a way that didn't make any sense. It's the kind of thing you'd expect to see in a sci-fi movie though, but here it is, caught on camera in real life. Spooky mirror reflection. It was like reality just malfunctioned for a moment. This might be a time slip or temporal distortion. Basically, the idea is that the vans experienced a quick problem in time, making them act in a way that didn't make any sense. It's the kind of thing you'd expect to see in a sci-fi movie though, but here it is, caught on camera.
Okay, I needed to see that again only because okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my sister's comment here. She said, "Did you see that black cat in the road with no heart right on that shot?"
In real life. Spooky mirror reflection. In a spooky video, a father captured a moment that seemed more ghostly than just Halloween fun. The video showed a baby smiling at himself in the mirror. Suddenly, when the baby looked away, his reflection didn't move. It just kept staring with eyes that had...
And the eyes are blackened, if you notice, when the baby's head turns. I mean, to me, it's like there's so many people playing around with CGI and stuff like that. It's just difficult for me to take this seriously.
Turned pitch black. It took a few seconds before the reflection finally moved to match the baby. This creepy scene, meant to be just for fun, really scared a lot of people. Some knew it was just a trick and laughed, but others felt really unsettled by the sight of the baby's reflection moving on its own.
Yeah, I don't think that that's the real deal. So, okay, to deal with this, okay, but to deal with some of the more controversial issues here, the controversial aspect of this really asks the question, it begs the question, how does our Tanakh and how does our present statements of truth and understanding, how do we negotiate that? How do we, by the way, let me just stop and say, first you got to get something that's real and something that's not CGI. Do I think that the Queen's eye thing was CGI? Nah, I don't think that was CGI. I think that was something else. But a number of the rest of them, I think that they were false. I don't think that they were, I don't think that they were what they were intended to be, including like with the little baby. I mean, it's like, hey. I think someone did that just to get views. Really did. So, with that being the case, though, looking at, let's just take the Queen then, okay? How then, to be controversial, where in the Tanakh would we address that? I know you probably asked me that. Well, Maury, where would you? I'm asking you, where would you address that? There is a possibility that there are other beings from other worlds that are here. How would you address that? Okay, is this something that we would need to talk about? Is there something that like, for instance, what if the government came out next month and said, hey, oh, by the way, here's a spaceship and yeah, aliens are real? Would that throw us completely off our kilter? Would that make us unbalanced? I mean, would we be like, oh, forget about the Tanakh, I'm out of here? What would that do? What would that do? It's just one of those things where you take a look and you have to say to yourself, how do we negotiate that? Okay, how do we negotiate that? It does. Let me pull this. Excuse me. Let me pull this scripture up here real quick, because it mentions how the Most High, and granted, this is a scripture that is in the Christian New Testament. But basically, we're talking about worlds being framed, right? Worlds. If our Elohim is Elohim of all, then he is Elohim of all worlds and every place, so forth and so on. Okay? And that's just one of those things that I just have to say, yeah, it's controversial. We don't know, right? We're waiting for proof of other beings and other things happening. that are beyond our normal everyday. But at the same time, I have to admit, the world is bigger than what we would imagine, and it is stranger than what we know it to be. And I feel like without the Most High, I feel as if we would have a hard time making sense of anything. But to know that He is King of Kings and Lord of Lords over all, then yeah, that definitely gives us a foundation to address everything else on, because He is the creator of all. If the Most High is creator of all and there are aliens, then yes, then He also created the aliens. And so, hey, there is a common ground. If you pay attention to some of the so-called, stories about beings from these other worlds, they do have an emotional backdrop. They have some sort of a spiritual ability to feel, think, understand, reason, pretty much like us, except that they're coming from a completely different place, no pun intended. And I feel like while this may be controversial to many, hey, we're waiting to see if there are other beings, but hey, with the Most High being the creator of them all, it's not that controversial to me. We'll be right back. We're going to go ahead and we are going to, sorry about that, but we are going to actually get into a different segment. Be right back. How Hebrew are you? Question number 1 of How Hebrew Are You? Our physical existence is supposed to be the mirror image of the spiritual world and its truths. Our physical existence is supposed to be the mirror image of the spiritual world and its truths. Is the correct response A? No, we are just physical beings without any reason or meaning. Is the correct response B? Impossible, the spiritual world is nothing like this physical one? Is the correct response C? This is only true because Moses asked Yah to make it that way. Is the correct response D? This is strange but true? Or is it E? None of these? None of the above? All right, we have some people weighing in, yes. And we have some diversity. Seems like we have a split over 2. It's All Good weighs in. It's All Good weighs in with a D. Kanaya Israel also weighs in with a D. Christine Croning weighs in with a D. Jermaine Deacle weighs in with a C. Michael Charles Marsh weighs in with an E. Jacqueline E. Buggs weighs in with a D. Uriah Lesh weighs in with a D. Who else? I see a B, C, D, and also an E. What is the correct answer? What is the correct response? The correct response is D. Our physical existence is supposed to be the mirror image of the spiritual world and its truths. Psalms 103:20. Bless Yah, ye his angels, that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. Deuteronomy 4:1. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments, which I teach you for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which Yah your Elohim of your fathers gives unto you. Just as the B'nai Elohim are expected to follow the commandments of the Most High, we are also expected to follow the commandments of the Most High. They are considered to be the B'nai Elohim, the children of the Most High. We are the children of the Most High. And so there is a parallel, even with Adam transforming the earth into the garden, which was the place of the Most High. We are to emulate the earth. The heavens, excuse me. The earth is to emulate the heavens. Question number 2. Congratulations to all of you that got the answer correct. All right, so the next question. This did not, I think this, for whatever reason, this is an older question from one of our from our session before last week. Give me a second to straighten it out. I don't know what happened, but give me a second. I'll let you look at this answer while I straighten things out. I apologize.
Hi, I'm Melky Uriel, and I'm excited to offer you a brand new course at Navi Bait Academy. One of the first courses that we're developing at Navi Bait Academy, and we're welcoming you. It's called the Hebrew Memorization Course, and perhaps you've been reading some Hebrew reference materials, and you note that the paragraphs are numbered by the Hebrew alphabet, as well as the verses. And you're wondering, well, how do I know which is which? If I want to go to a particular paragraph, how do I do that? You may also be wondering, well, how do I memorize the 10 Commandments? I want to be able to memorize the 10 Commandments and know them frontwards and back and be able to recall them in order and to know which commandment is which. As well as the Hebrew alphabet. I want to know the Hebrew alphabet and their numerical values from 1 to 400. I'm here to tell you that you can do that now. Now there is a course here at Navi Bait Academy where you will memorize the Hebrew alphabet from 1 to 22 and their numerical values from 1 to 400, as well as the 10 Commandments. All anyone will be able to have to do is to just either speak the number or the Hebrew alphabet, and you will be able to recall it. It's as simple as thinking of a number like 19, and 19 in the Hebrew alphabet is Qaf, which its numerical value is 100, and its paleographic Hebrew symbol is that of the horizon. Let's say 3, right? Just a random number. 3 in the Hebrew alphabet is Gimel, and its paleographic Hebrew symbol is that of the foot, and also its number is 3. But guess what? Since it's 1 through 10, number 3 would represent the third commandment of the 10 Commandments, which is, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Well, how am I able to do that? I'm able to do that because I've been using this system for some time now, and I'm willing to offer to you through this course at Navi Bait Academy. That's right. You can take your time. If it takes you a week, if it takes you a month, if it takes you 2 years, it's up to you to just study at your own pace. The only thing we ask you to do is just to dig in with us. And I'll even let you in on a secret. You can start the course for free. So thank you very much, and we can't wait to see you on the other side.
Okay, back to how Hebrew are you into the questions, and question number 2. Physical human life can be said to be a living expression of Yah's spirit and likeness. This is the way it was meant to be. Again, physical human life can be said to be a living expression of Yah's spirit and likeness. This is the way that it was meant to be. Is the correct response A? Nope. The two will forever be separate and different. Is the correct response B? We are nothing like the Most High and can't be thought of in the same light. Is the correct response C? This could go either way. Or is the correct response D? This is strange but true. Or is the correct response E? This is only true when Jesus died on the cross. This only became true when Jesus died on the cross. Physical human life can be said to be a living expression. All right, we're weighing in. Everyone is weighing in. It looks like we have a general consensus. All right. We have a consensus. I see D's everywhere. It looks like everyone is saying D. Well, what is the correct answer? The correct answer for question number 2 is, yes, it's D. Physical human life can be said to be a living expression of Yah's spirit and likeness. This is the way that it was meant to be. Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 1, verses 26 and 27. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. And Yah formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Yes, we're talking Genesis 2 and 7. And yes. So congratulations to all of you that did get the correct answer. Okay, and we will now go to question 3. Question 3 is, this physical world is evil. The Most High will destroy it and everything in it and rapture us to heaven. Again, the physical world is evil and the Most High will destroy it and everything in it and rapture us to heaven. Is the correct response A? This is false. Physical existence is the Most High's idea, not ours. Is the correct response B? This is true, even physical creation groans for its redemption. Is the correct response C? This is true, even though Christ went to the cross. Is it D? This is true, even though rapture is not in the Bible? Or is the correct response, this is true only because man was created to grow food in heaven? I'm seeing a bunch of A's. What is the answer to question number 3? Looks like everyone pretty much has a consensus. Yes, it's A. The correct response is A. This physical world is evil, and the Most High will destroy it and everything in it and rapture us up to heaven. This is false. Physical existence is the Most High idea and not ours. Isaiah 66 and 22, for as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith Yah, so shall your seed and your name remain. Ecclesiastes 1 and 4, one generation passeth away, and another generation comes, but the earth abides forever. The earth abides forever. Congratulations to those of you that did get the question correct. Looks like we have an issue with question number 4. Let me see if I can straighten this out really quickly. If I can, then we will. If not, then hey, then we're going to leave it right there at 3. And let me see if we can make 4 happen here. Where did 4 go to? Okay. All right, looks like we're going to have to leave it right there. Thank you very much for being with us and for playing. Yeah, how Hebrew are you? Congratulations to all of you who got the right answers. A fun learning exercise for all and now here we are. Let's get ready to play. It's time for the Scholar's Spotlight.
Hey, thank you for a great question. I use Hebrew Bible because that has become the academic standard, but that is not very common outside of the academy.
This is, for those of you that do not know, this is Dr. Dan McClellan, and while I feel like he's out there in left field, to the far left when it comes to transgender and transsexual issues, I feel as if he does have some good things to say when it comes to the Bible. So here he addresses the difference between the Tanakh and the Christian Old Testament.
Old Testament is a Christian designation for usually the same collection of texts. On the Jewish side, my understanding is that Tanakh is the most common designation for the Jewish scriptures, and that would be an acronym that represents Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim, or law, prophets, and writings. Now, these two corpora represent usually the same set of texts, but there are 3 main differences to them. One is translation. The Old Testament, when it is translated into English or other languages, is going to prioritize Christian interpretations of the text of the Old Testament. So, for instance, Isaiah 7:14, usually they're going to translate it virgin, or they're going to translate it in a way that is conducive to interpreting it as a prophecy about the virgin birth of Jesus. The Tanakh is never going to be interpreted as a prophecy about the virgin birth of Jesus and is never going to be translated to reflect that. So the 2 different designations refer to 2 different traditional interpretations and translations of these texts. They also differ in arrangement. The Tanakh goes Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim. So the writings are at the end, and 1st and 2nd Chronicles are at the very end of the writings. And so the very last verse of the Tanakh is Cyrus's decree that Adonai has given me all the kingdoms of the earth and has appointed me to build a temple in Judah. And so anyone who wants to go up may go up, and let them be blessed. And so this is talking about the return from exile. So the Tanakh concludes with this promise of return and this hope for restoration and a new temple. The Old Testament arranges the text differently. We still begin with the Pentateuch, but after the Pentateuch, things start to change. And the Old Testament ends with the prophets, and specifically Malachi, whose book ends with this prophecy about the coming great and dreadful day of the Lord, the return of Elijah. And this sets the table for segueing into Matthew discussing the genealogy of Jesus. So in this way, the Old Testament concludes with a segue into the Messiah as the fulfillment of that prophecy. Now, these two designations can also differ in content. Not only do we have different Christian groups who have different sets of texts that they designate the Old Testament, but in the earliest periods of Christianity, the Septuagint was the authoritative edition of the Old Testament, the ancient Greek translation of the Old Testament. It was considered to be more original, more authoritative than the Hebrew. In fact, many early Christians accused Jewish people of removing the messianic stuff from their editions of the Hebrew Bible. The reality is that those messianic things were kind of interpreted in the translation of the Hebrew Bible into Greek. If you want a good discussion about the role of the Septuagint in early Christianity, When God Spoke Greek by Timothy Michael Law is a wonderful discussion. And Timothy was my thesis supervisor when I was at the University of Oxford. He's a wonderful scholar and a wonderful person. We start to shift away from preference for the Greek translation around the year 400. Jerome starts talking about the Hebraica Veritas, or the truth of the Hebrew. But we're still reliant on the Vulgate, the Latin translation, which has all of the same text from the Septuagint, which differ from what the Jewish communities considered their canon, which was based entirely on the Hebrew manuscripts. So the Vulgate differs from the text of the Tanakh for many centuries, and it's not until the Protestant Reformation that folks like Luther and others say, no, we're not going to do the Latin, we're going to go back to the Hebrew manuscripts. And when we do that, guess what isn't there? All the texts that we're now going to cordon off and refer to as the Apocrypha. So starting with Luther, we have Old Testament Apocrypha, and then the New Testament. And Protestants used the Apocrypha for many years, but then in the 19th century, the British Foreign Bible Society and the American Bible Society begin to publish editions of the Bible that omit the Apocrypha, and that becomes very popular. And by the end of the 19th century, it becomes the standard to omit the Apocrypha, and now Protestants don't consider the Apocrypha a part of the Bible. So the content of these two designations differs as well. It has changed over the years, but even today, depending on which denomination, which version of Christianity you're talking about, their Old Testament could include many more books than are found in the Tanakh.
This is a liver.
Alrighty, so hey, that's a little bit of information. I know that sometimes I've gotten the question about, what is the difference between the Old Testament and the Tanakh? I've gotten questions regarding that, and so hey, just wanted to share that with you. That's basically, those are the differences between the Old Testament and the Tanakh. I read the Tanakh. I like the Tanakh. I have a Stone edition Tanakh, and like I said, the Old Testament, it's been restructured in order to facilitate Christianity, and they're superimposing a Greco-Roman Messiah into the mix. So, hey, we're just going to sidestep that, right? We're Torah only, Tanakh only, and so, we're getting ready for the next segment, the last segment, and, I kind of like this segment only because of the end result, and I'm not going to let the cat out the bag, but I wish I had some of what they, okay, hold on. Hi, I'm Melchior Uriel, and I want to come to your church or to sit down with you, Pastor, and have a build where we discuss, open up scriptures, and discuss the realities behind the Hebrew way of life and following the laws. Please call the number below, and if unanswered, Hebrew money. Let's talk about your money. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about being a Hebrew, and yes, let's talk about money in relationship to us building and being Hebrew. With this in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to go right in. Going to go right into a information, if you will, that came to me from our brother Adrian Blackman. Our brother shared with me some things that I'm going to read for you. That relates to Hebrew money. And I want to, let's see here if I can show you this. Let me see if I can. I'm not so sure if I can or can't. However, I'm going to do my best. If I could even get a full screen here, that would make it even better. Okay, all right. I'm trying to make it right, but you know what? Hey, seems like it doesn't want to cooperate with me, so we're going to do the best that we possibly can. And so let's try this, because I want you to see what was written. This comes to us from our brother Adrian. And so let me talk about it, okay? Because it concerns your money, but it concerns his experience with crypto. So we need to lean on our brother and see if we can't get him to answer some questions about crypto. Let me even make it bigger for you. Okay. My brother said, Shalom. Here are some of the things that I put together, right? And he's given me permission to go ahead and to share. He says here, ultimately, my ending strategy is to have more precious metals, Yah's true money, and Bitcoin to hedge against inflation. Bitcoin is being purchased by governments, banks, universities, and large conglomerates such as, is that MicroStrategy, BlackRock, and Charles Schwab. Even owning a mere 0.008% in Bitcoin will be worth holding indefinitely, as there will be only 21 million coins mined, of which 19 million, I believe, are already in circulation. Okay, 19 million already in circulation. And so this is what our brother presents unto us. Concerning your Hebrew money, he says, pause, if you will. And hold on, cursor wants to go a little crazy here. Okay. Pause and take a mental snapshot of everyone in your life, friends, family, acquaintances. Now ask yourself, how many truly understand the transformative potential of cryptocurrency? Probably none. Or maybe one or two. How many grasp its complexities beyond surface level awareness? Crypto represents not just a few asset class by a paradigm shift in how wealth is created and distributed. While the majority remain unaware or indifferent, a select few are quickly building the foundations of generational wealth. I want to highlight that. I really do.
It's 2 o'clock.
Okay, building the foundations of generational wealth. This is not just a trend, it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Okay, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to position yourself ahead of the curve. The question is, will you wake up, focus, and seize it before it's too late? Okay. Before crypto, the fastest and most cost-effective way to send $10,000 overseas was literally to board a plane and hand deliver it. Services like MoneyGram or Western Union were slow, expensive, and inefficient. A couple of years ago, my brother sent me $5,000 in crypto from the Middle East, asking me to swap it for a different crypto from his wallet to mine and back. The transaction just took 6 minutes and cost only 60 cents in fees. The blockchain he used made this seamless, and it's not an exception, but the new standard for global finance. In July 2020, during my first encounter with crypto, my son urged me to invest in a specific project. 6 months later, that investment yielded, wait for it, a 7,400. See that number right there? A 7,400% return. That is, man, that's amazing, right? So his ROI was 7,400%, which means if he put in $1, okay, then just say he got $7,400, right? Just as an example, by way of an example. While I watched him turn his disciplined investments into $4.6 million after just 2 years of involvement, inspired, I dove into research and self-education. 4 years later, I may not even know everything, but I am well versed, helping doctors, attorneys, and other professionals explore the potential of this space. Many of them, already accustomed to risk, understand this. The reward far outweighs the risk. It's this asymmetric opportunity that drives serious attention to crypto investing. Bitcoin's halving event and occurs 4 years, reduces minor rewards by half, increasing scarcity and fueling its value. Following the halving, a phenomenon known as altcoin season typically unfolds, where the prices of the other cryptocurrencies skyrocket. The next 4 to 6 months representing the right period. In 2020, Bitcoin halved, in other words, was reduced to 50% in May, sparking the bull run that marked my introduction to crypto. Now, with Bitcoin's halving in April 2024, we stand at the same threshold. The window of opportunity is open, but for how long? History suggests it's time to act decisively. A call to rethink your financial strategy, the reality of traditional investment. I know for a fact that this is something good to get into. Definitely the whole investing, and that is how you build wealth. Not by putting your money in a coffee can in your backyard, but you got to make it work for you. One, your stockbroker, whether your portfolio thrives or flounders, your broker profits, even with the generous annual return of 18%, though more commonly around 11%, you are barely staying ahead of the inflation and market volatility. True. Point two, your bank. Okay, your bank savings account offers 4%. I mean, after you tell me about 18% and 11%, I don't want to hear 4%. Savings account offering 4% APR, okay, generous if you want to say it is. The reality is closer to 2.2%. Meanwhile, your hard-earned money sits dormant, losing value to inflation. Your 401k, remember, 2008, major U.S. equity indexes plummeted, with the S&P 500 losing 37%, leading to devastating losses in retirement assets. I knew a nurse who watched $30,000 of her savings vanish. The estimate is fragile. No, I'm sorry, the system is fragile, and your future deserves better. I agree. I agree. I agree. So why crypto is the future? Crypto offers a level of opportunity. Crypto offers a level of opportunity traditional investments can't match. It's a new frontier of wealth creation powered by informed strategies and emerging technologies. Here's how to position yourself effectively. Building a crypto strategy. Choose narratives or niches. Focus on 2 to 3 narratives you're passionate about. Research these niches deeply, then identify a few projects within each. For this bull run, my focus is gaming coins, tokens designed for gaming ecosystems. My pick, Heroes of Mavia, meme coins, high risk, high reward tokens built around viral hype. I didn't know that there was such a thing. My pick is Turbo, Layer 1 foundational blockchains where transactions are executed. My pick, Caspa. Evaluate your picks. Dive into investments, the narrative driving the project, the token's story and economics, the strength of the community and development team. So my brother goes into quite a bit here. For those of you that would like this, because there is a lot more here that I don't have time necessarily to read. However, I would like to send this to those of you that would like this. Or perhaps there's a version that my brother Adrian would want to send everyone. And in fact, maybe that might be best, because then that way he can help people individually if they want help. I'm definitely going to be contacting my brother, because this is something that I want to get into. I have a little, but I need to learn a lot more and to get involved a lot more in building wealth for the future. So with that being the case, my brothers and my sisters, we've been talking about Hebrew money, and so bottom line of it is, yeah, a wise man does lay up an inheritance for his children, and the way that you do that, excuse me, and the way that you do that is by making sure that you don't live above your means. You always have some money set aside for yourself, for an emergency fund, but then you also have some money set aside for investments. You have to make your money work for you. You got to make your money grow for you. And that's how it is to be done. So, my brother Adrian, thank you for sharing. And I want to say that for those of you family that want to reach out to our brother Adrian, you can contact him. In fact, brother Adrian, I don't know if you want to put your email address up in the chat room so that individuals can contact you if they need to, in order to get more information about crypto and how to take advantage of this opportunity that we're in right now. I want to take advantage of it, to be honest with you. I do. I want to take advantage of it. So, it's my brother, it's all good. And thank you for the information. Okay. And now we are going to, we're going to go to another segment. Yes, we are. Be right back. The message. Thank you. Shalom. It's time for Moshe in your kitchen. You know what? It looks like we have a question. All right, it looks like we have a question, and the question is, my brother Ben Naphtali said, he said, my wife is asking, where did I see that at? Let me scroll up to it. Okay, I am looking for the question here. I just kind of had it, and I don't know where it is now. Hold on. All right. Let me... Okay, I'm sorry, I'm looking for this. There was a question from my brother Ben Naphtali, and I'm trying to find it. There it is. He says, my wife's asking, what are your thoughts on crypto as it relates to the end times? Okay, really quickly, I understand that many people are viewing the end times in relationship to or with some influence from the book of Revelation. There's always a discussion about the end times, and immediately the mind goes to things like the mark of the beast, especially when it comes to finances and selling and so forth and so on. And it is true that the quote-unquote mark of the beast in the book of Revelation is indeed financial. It's economic in its medium, and it is... Basically, it's going to be restrictive, of course, as you know, so that you cannot buy nor sell. However, there's a couple of things that I must say about this. One, it would be difficult for me to say that we do not subscribe to the Christian New Testament, but then, oh, by the way, the book of Revelation is about the end times. The book of Revelation is not about the times that we live in at all, not at all. Many people are concerned about the mark of the beast. And what about the mark of the beast? If you receive the name, the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast deals more with currencies, and it deals more with the occupying force and the government and the economic system that we're enrolled under, as opposed to there being an individual mark upon you. Basically, the significance behind the mark of the beast, as far as Hebrews are concerned, is that basically it is a non-Hebrew conscription to operate economically in a system that's not your own. And we understand even what is read in the book of, the book of Isaiah, also the book of Ezekiel, which, by the way, of course, we know that the Tanakh says that things are going to come to pass from it in the Tanakh itself, and it has nothing to do with the Christian New Testament. The things that are written of, even in the book of Revelation, have nothing to do with our time. They have nothing to do with our day. If there is any resemblance or assimilation to anything that's happening in our day and time, it's only because there is nothing new under the sun. That perhaps is the only claim to validity that the book of Revelation, the so-called end times, would have. There, other than that, we know that we as Hebrews, we have no fear of a mark of a beast. We have no fear of that. That is a New Testament, a New Twistament Christian interjection that we have that's their game. That's what they're doing. We don't have. And now, listen, the reason why many of us would pay attention to that is because of our past Christian leanings. We have been taught that the book of Revelation is so deep and it's about the end times. And yeah, we've been conditioned to think and to believe that, when all the while there are just as many clues, if not more, to signify that the book of Revelation was really about first century Judea and has nothing to do with us in the day today. Now, with that being the case, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, to be honest with you, all of this, listen, let's just say we're going to stop with cryptocurrency and we're going to go ahead and continue with the dollar. I mean, we would feel secure in that to some degree because we've known the dollar. But the dollar is just as a fake and fictitious system, false system, as any other currency that is non-mineral based. It's not gold based. It's not silver based. It's not platinum based. It's not even based on precious gems and rubies, right? So any system that is not a valid system as far as the Tanakh is concerned, being based upon silver, being based upon gold, any system that is not that is a simple counterfeit system. And so while if we say, hey, there's not going to be any crypto, we're just going to stick with the dollar, many of us would be okay. We'd be like, well, so what? This is what we've been dealing with for all this time. It's still a fake and synthetic system. So the fact that you now have a more elaborate, a more complex system, which, by the way, I'm more so for that. If you're going to choose a system, I would rather go for a deregulated, non-controlled system like Bitcoin, as opposed to being enrolled back into, the same old with the oil dollar from the U.S. And I feel as if that would be a better direction to go in. My brother Gilbert also brings up that BRICS is trying to tell the American dollar to go kick rocks. I mean, it is really important for us to we look at the scripture that says, come out of her. Well, yeah, you need to come out of the dollar. I mean, you need something else to stand on. And I'm actually kicking myself because back in the early 80s, I was told, and I didn't do it, I was told to buy gold, like physical gold, to create a solid foundation for the economic future of me and my family. Okay? Wish I had done it. Right? Wish I had done it. But I feel like crypto is a good way to go. I feel like it's a solid way to go. What concerns me, not so much about the end times, but what concerns me is the digitization of our existence and how easily it is to manipulate the digital aspect of things. Which is why cryptocurrency is such a valuable thing, is because it is, in a sense, it's incorruptible, right? The blockchain is going to do its job to protect. Now, I know they say any quantum computer can break the code, and okay, I get it. But how many people are walking around with a quantum computer in their back pocket? So I think that it is a good way to go. I think it's a better way to go than the dollar. And I'm going to, I'm going to leave it at that. I like this. I like this that Josh and Penny says, you know, we buy land and seed. I was always told that I can't eat money when the empire falls again. I like that. I like that. I hear you, Christine Croning. I hear you. I hear you. All right. Well, hey, let's dig into the last segment. The last segment. Here we go. It's Moshe in your kitchen. Moshe in your kitchen. And yes, I know this is going to make me hungry. If it makes no one else, it's going to make me hungry. So here we go.
Hey y'all, my name is Kamira and y'all come on in my kitchen. Baby, I'm gonna be showing you how to make some crispy, crunchy, juicy chicken that is not deep fried, but it's gonna taste just like it's been deep fried.
What would we do without the holy yard bird? Chicken. Chicken, chicken, chicken.
But we are not going to fry in no oil. We're not pan frying. We're not using no air fryer. No fancy equipment. And if you don't believe me, stick around and find out. Let's go ahead and get cooking. I'm using chicken leg quarters today because they are affordable and I love dark meat. I am going to cut them in half so I can get...
Okay, so do we have dark meat and light meat people here? Who likes dark meat? Who likes light meat? I often find that the chicken breast itself, I mean, it's like a lot of times it's dry, right? And I mean, who doesn't like a good chicken wing?
Get a leg and a nice thigh.
Bergen, you are so funny. You are so funny.
Now with the thighs, especially, if you have excess skin or fat, you're going to want to trim that off. So I'm going to take off this skin here and this little bit of fat here. You don't need the excess, even though we're not.
Okay, so I would have to admit that my favorite pieces of chicken, my number one favorite piece of chicken, all right, newsflash, y'all didn't know this about me, okay? You didn't. You did. I've been hiding this from you. I've been hiding this from you guys all this time. It's now time for me to come out with the truth. When it comes to my favorite part of the chicken, I love the thighs. Love them thighs. And then, of course... yeah, then there's the chicken leg. But man, the thigh. You know what I'm talking about? It's like it's the perfect piece of chicken. Right? It is the perfect piece of chicken. Now, okay, so Repentant and Save says that Jermaine does good with the chicken breast. It remains juicy. Now, if it's flavorful and juicy, I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. My sister Jacqueline E. Bug says, I made pizza from sourdough bread and tomato soup last night. Onions, jalapeno peppers, or jalapeno, jalapeno pepper, and deli turkey. It was good. Sounds good. I do like the thighs. I really do like the thighs. And, I mean, if the chicken breast is juicy and flavorful, yeah, then I'll, I can go there. I can go there. But I told y'all I had to come out with it. I like the thighs.
I'm not going to take off the skin. Anything hanging over, I'm going to trim that up. We're going to clean off the chicken.
That's funny. Josh is raiding the refrigerator, y'all. Josh is in the Josh is in the kitchen.
So I am going to take some limes to help clean the chicken. I'm going to rinse the chicken off. I'm going to take the lime, squeeze it over the skin, and scrub-a-dub-dub. Okay. Now you may not want to wash your chicken. I'm not going to get into it with you. Okay, you do what you want to do. All right, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But as for me, I am at least rinsing, washing my chicken because sometimes there's fecal matter, blood, stuff like that on it, and it matters to me to get it off, okay? I'm gonna pat it dry with paper towels. Pat your chicken dry and especially make sure you get the skin dump that water. See, look how cloudy that looks. So y'all want to be eating that. Okay. Do you, boo. Do you. I'm gonna place this to the side. And then I'm gonna clean that sink. Just like a big old bowl. Let's start seasoning this chicken. Now, baby, you can season this chicken as simple or as complicated as you want. Okay, so I'm going to do a half of a teaspoon of salt. This is some chicken seasoning. Okay, this got garlic powder, onion powder, some herbs and stuff in there. I'm going to use about half a teaspoon of this. You can use any chicken seasoning that you like. I'm also going to use some chicken bouillon. Baby, this will make your fried chicken taste so good. Okay, I love this seasoning. I'm going to use about 1/4 of a teaspoon. I know y'all going to be like, that ain't no 1/4 of a teaspoon, girl. What you talking about? That's about a half or a full teaspoon. I'm going to use some white pepper. This is about 1/4 of a teaspoon.
That does seem like it's a lot more than a 1/4 of a teaspoon. I mean, that's nothing. So I think she's putting on more seasoning.
Some Cajun seasoning, about 1/2 teaspoon of some Cajun seasoning. How much Cajun seasoning you use depends on what brand
Maybe she means tablespoon and not teaspoon.
you get. So this one doesn't have a lot of sodium. Ooh, I'm about to sneeze. Y'all, this one, I'm sneezing. Y'all, if you ain't sneezing, ain't seasoning. This one is mostly like herbs and cayenne pepper. Ooh, yeah. Using about 1/4 teaspoon of some thyme, but you can use oregano if you want to. And this is optional. It says steak seasoning, but really, this is really good on chicken. The buttery flavor is really nice. Now, you can also use garlic powder and onion powder, but remember, a lot of the seasonings already have that in there. If you don't have these seasoning blends, then garlic powder, onion powder, pepper, cayenne pepper, those would all work instead of having the blends.
Yeah, Slap Your Mama is pretty good. It's all good. My brother Adrian, yes, Slap Your Mama is good. I was introduced to that when I went to Texas.
Hey, put this in your ear.
And marinate until I get impatient and hungry. Okay, I have 6 eggs I have cracked into a bowl. Now I've been making this chicken for a minute, and let me tell you, you got to season every layer. So I'm going in with a little bit of Creole seasoning, about 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm also going to use some of the Cajun seasoning. Then I'm going to add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of the chicken.
Okay, one thing I noticed about this sister is that she actually seasons everything at every stage. In other words, this is for her batter, but she's going to also season what she's using for the batter. She's seasoning the chicken, she's seasoning the batter, she's going to season the flour as well. That's one thing that I learned from this.
Seasoning. I want my chicken a little spicy, so I'm going to add some extra red pepper and also a little bit of white pepper. You do not need buttermilk, nothing like that, okay? The egg is going to be the binder. For your coating, you have 3 options. You can either use seasoned panko breadcrumbs. If you use panko breadcrumbs, you're not going to be adding a bunch of other seasonings to the batter because, of course, this is seasoned, right? You could also use plain panko breadcrumbs. I tend to use these because I can season them myself and they're always going to match the flavoring of the chicken. You can also use regular breadcrumbs. Now, this is my least preferred option. And look, you see you got the chicken on there. But I just think the panko comes out crunchier, but this is also a little bit more affordable. So you can use any of these 3, but this is the one I'm going to use today. If any of your friends are trying to tell you to live a fat-free life, baby, they're not your friends. You don't need no oil, you need the right oil. I've been seeing Graza olive oil pop up everywhere online, okay? And I just had to know, is this olive oil actually good, or does it just have, a cute face, chubby waist, opaque bottle, and a squeezy top? Hey, y'all, I have been pleasantly surprised, guys. This olive oil is fresh clean, bright.
And the New York Times named Graza the best olive oil you can find at the store. And when you run out, there's no need to buy another bottle. You can simply grab a refill from Whole Foods or online. Keep watching, y'all. I'm going to show you how to use Sizzle, their cooking olive oil, to get the crispiest chicken ever.
I knew you guys were going to love this olive oil, so I partnered up with Graza to get you $5 off at graza.co with code Kamira. So this is my breader, but y'all can also just use a big Tupperware. So into this, I am going to make my seasoned mixture. Now y'all, don't be asking me how much flour you using, girl. Baby, use your spirit. Okay, how much you think you need, okay? I'm gonna add my panko. I'm adding more panko breadcrumbs than I am flour. It's kind of like a 2-to-1 ratio, okay? I always like to add a little bit of chicken bouillon into my breading. I'm gonna go easy on the salt in the breading though, because you know you already got salt in your eggs, you already got salt on the chicken, you know, go light with it, all right? So I'm adding chicken seasoning, cayenne pepper, a little bit of the Cajun seasoning. Remember, that's the low sodium one, okay? And you gotta put some seasoning in or else it's gonna be super bland. Shake that baby up and get that seasoning all up in there. I'm gonna take my chicken and I'm going to dip it into my beaten egg mixture. Then I'm going to place it inside of my breader. I am going to try to let any excess egg just kind of drip off, y'all. Y'all don't need all the extra, okay? I'm going to do 3 pieces of chicken at a time. I like using this breader because I can keep my hands a little bit cleaner, okay? There you go. I'm going to dip this back into the egg mixture. And then I'm going to place it back into the breader. Now, of course, you do not need a breader. I just like using this breader because it's a little bit cleaner for me. And I don't like using tongs, okay? If you use tongs, you often find that the breading will scrape off on the tongs. So, y'all use your hands and just do what you need to do, okay? Don't be afraid to touch your meat, all right? I already know some of y'all ain't afraid to do it anyway, but I'm just saying, okay? Be gentle, okay? Be gentle with this. I'm gonna take the chicken and look, perfectly coated, no excess. Y'all, get into it. I'm placing my chicken on a baking sheet that has a baking rack on top, and y'all know I got the foil. You got to keep clean up easy, okay? Make sure you give your chicken space. All right, you don't want, you know, it to be all up on each other and then it's not going to crisp up well.
Today I'm going to use Sizzle by Graza. This is their cooking olive oil that is safe up to 411 degrees. I'm going to use that little squeezy top, okay, and then just spread it around with the brush. Now, I love this oil because it tastes good, it's very affordable, and baby, it's single origin. So it ain't blended up with some canola oil. You know, they be out there trying to rip y'all off. But baby, this the real deal, okay? So I either use the squeezy top with a brush, or sometimes I'll just use that squeezy top like a little funnel to put it into a sprayer, and then I will just spray it on. But if you use a sprayer, baby, do not do a lot at one time, okay? Because you want to use up whatever's in the spray bottle very quickly, okay? Make sure you hit up the front and the back, okay? Because you don't want no white powdery coating on your chicken. I'm going to preheat the oven to 410 degrees. I'm going to pop this chicken in here until it reaches at least an internal temperature of 180 degrees for dark meat or 165 for white meat. I will tell you guys how long that took for my chicken. While my chicken is cooking, I'm just going to steam some vegetables for a side dish. Y'all, we trying to keep it light, okay? We're already trying to reduce the big bakery and all that stuff by not deep frying, okay? Just have some vegetables on the side, all right? So I'm going to take my veggies, cover it up, steam them for about 10 minutes. That's all it takes so they don't get mushy. And then I am going to use Drizzle, their finishing olive oil, just to give the veggies some flavor. Okay, this olive oil is not meant for cooking. It has a delicate taste, kind of robust even. I really love this olive oil. And then I am going to top it with some Parmigiano Reggiano. after 45 minutes, my chicken was smelling good. Baby, it was crispy. And it was at least 180 degrees. Baby, a lot of things can lie to you. But one thing that don't lie is the fork. Okay, fork don't lie. This chicken was actually super crunchy.
Okay, y'all. Get into this chicken. Baby, you know this look good. Look at this. You hear that? Crunchy is all get out. We're going to get right into it. Now, you can use a fork. I'm going in, okay, with just with the hands.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Oh, my goodness. Y'all, this is juicy. That red's for my lipstick, okay? Ain't no pink in there. Look at that. You know, I'm going to have to hit some of this up with some hot sauce. Old school, okay? Just right on it. Oh, my goodness. Let me know in the comments if you are going to make this.
Oh, that last bite got me. That last bite got me.
I will see you next time in Kamira's Kitchen. Goodbye and God bless.
White versus. That makes me want to go fry some chicken, but I ain't going to do it on Shabbat. That makes me want some fried chicken. And I do now. I really do. I want that. That sounded so crunchy, so good. Listen, I'll be right back. When I come back, we'll open it up for questions across the board. Any question you want to ask, any comment that you want to make, yeah, we will definitely, we will look at that, review that when we get back. So, here we go. Hi, I'm Melchior Uriel, and I want to come to your church or to sit down with you, Pastor, and have a build where we discuss, open up scriptures, and discuss the realities behind the Hebrew way of life and following the laws. Please call the number below, and if unanswered, please leave a message. Thank you. Shalom. Hi, I'm Melchior Uriel, and I'm so delighted to meet you. I'm glad that you stopped by. I'm glad that you're curious, and I'm glad that you clicked on the video. All right. Hey, at this particular point, what we're going to do is, you know what? We're opening it up for you to ask your questions, not just on this segment, but hey, any question you want to ask, I'll definitely entertain. Or any comment that you want to make, please go ahead and address me in the comment section of the chat. And let's get your questions. Let's go ahead and ask. Alrighty. So I'm going to ask that the moderators place that we're open for questions in the chat. And we have a call. Shalom. Shabbat shalom to you. How are you?
Shabbat shalom, and to the Mishpachah, everybody.
Yes.
Before I go into my comment, I want to let Brother Bergen know, whenever we finally meet up, y'all willing, I will squeeze his hand a little extra hard. he took a shot at me. He said, You the king of phone calls. That's like, oh, shots fired.
Well,
but,
hey.
I wanted to say to the family, Sister Jacqueline, she didn't know that It's All Good used to be a black month. So when she sees that, I'm still the same Adrian. It's all good. Just change it up. But I have placed my emails in the chat, and after Shabbat or whenever, people can feel free to email me and ask questions, or I'll give them my number through email, and when they're comfortable and feel ready, we can do a Zoom call. I do Zoom calls and everything, so you
Great.
just get at it and go from there. But I pray that everybody has a blessed Shabbat from here until it's over, and shalom.
Well, shalom to you, my brother. And I'm going to say, hey, count me in. Whenever you have the Zoom meeting, count me in. I definitely want to be in that number because, like I said, I am very interested in this. And, yeah, just definitely want to make sure that I'm a part of that. Let's see here. Okay, you know what? I don't see any questions or comments pointed at me. Christine Croning says, as usual, my thanks to you this Shabbat. I continue to learn so much and look forward to spending time here with you all. Bless you all. Shabbat Shalom. Malkia Uriel and family love you all. Thank you. Love you too, Christine. Love you too. Love you too. And I'm glad that you're here. I'm always glad that you're here. And you guys, you help me to fulfill my life purpose. You help me, and I love the fact that you guys are here. We are definitely family. All right. You know what? It seems as if we're good to go. That being the case, since there are no questions, since there are no comments, I will simply say, hey, once again, I must thank you because you've given me your time, your attention. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. And I just feel like, I need some more rest. I feel like I need to go and just enjoy the rest of my Shabbat. And I want you to do the same. Yah willing, we will meet you back here at, Yom Revi'i for the fourth day. And then, of course, hey, if Yah wills again, we'll see you for Shabbat morning coffee. So with that being the case, hey, I'm a little tired. I'm ready to eat and lay down. I've got some goodies waiting for me, and I made a roast and some mashed potatoes, and there's some macaroni and cheese that was gifted unto me by the lovely, and man, I'm getting ready to eat, and yeah, I'm going to relax a little bit. So, Most High bless each and every one of you. I appreciate you. I love you. Hey, Yah willing, we will see you next time around. Yup, it's about that time. So, hey, peace and blessings to you. I love you all. May the Most High bless you and keep you. Remember, Israel is no longer cursed. Expect to see the hand of the Most High in your life on a daily basis. Remember to walk and live in the light and the joy of the Most High, and may He keep you all. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Shabbat Shalom.